artisan fishermen. And in sports, Tanzania will host the Africa Kabaddi Championships from the 11th to 14th of December this year. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The ADC party presidential candidate, Queen Cuthbert Singida, said that if citizens choose the party to lead the country, the first priority will be to ensure employment will be created for 10 million people in 5 years, as well as to improve the agricultural sector.
Niko hapa tena kwa mara nyingine.
ADC party has a strategic plan to create 10 million jobs within the first 5 years of leadership. It is possible. We have experts in education who will help us identify what areas we can create jobs for Tanzanians. You cannot run Tanzania if you have not invested well in agriculture. Today's farmer only farms for what to use tomorrow. You must vote. The candidate is well educated and has ability to lead this country.
Zanzibar's presidential candidate from Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party, Dr. Hussein Mwinyi, has continued with his campaigns where he's met with stakeholders in the fisheries sector and pledged to make significant productive changes to the sector.
Sisi tutawataka tukiwapa leseni.
We would require them, when we issue them with a license, not to fish and leave from there, have no benefit to us. They will fish and bring the catch on the shore and can the fish in Zanzibar. When you ask them why they have not been doing so, they tell you that it is because we don't have a fish pot nor factories. This is where we will begin from, by having a fish pot first and factories. I have no doubt if we do so, we will benefit, because those who fish get a lot of fish and take it to other nations, while here we don't benefit. This is a big sector. Fishing is done in various areas, and you find that accidents occur frequently because of poor infrastructure.
Chadema Party presidential candidate Tundu Lissu's campaigns have continued to gain momentum as he held 4 meetings in some constituencies of Geita and Mwanza region where he shared his party's policies.
When I went to Bukoba, I thought perhaps things were better in Bukoba, but it is the same cry. Fishermen in Lake Victoria have been made bankrupt. Chadema government will not ban fishing nets, it will not bankrupt fishermen. It will not take fish from fishermen and will not arrest fishermen just because they are fishing to get food for their families.
Civic Unite Front CUF Party presidential candidate Professor Ibrahim Lipumba said that if elected into office as President of the United Republic of Tanzania, he will form a national union government that will comprise of all parties with members in parliament.
We don't have a constitution that has a foundation laid in democracy. We don't have a constitution that protects human rights. So your party states that once we get into power, when you elect me to be your president, we will come with a government of the United Nations, a government that unites all parties with members of parliament from all parties in the United Republic of Tanzania. So together we can complete the exercise to get a constitution based on democracy.
And Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa said due to a significant percentage of Tanzanians being dependent on livestock products, the government has prepared friendly environments to livestock keepers and fishermen, which include opening a laboratory for testing of livestock and allocated forest areas for grazing.
Our president would like to see livestock keepers benefit from livestock keeping and for fishermen to benefit from fishing. So what we've started to do is to take big reserves that have been dormant, so we give to livestock keepers for grazing, and those with water we shall drill boreholes.
Mwanza and Geita regional commissioners have called on financial institutions to help small-scale miners in the country get technological equipment so that they can engage in productive mining and end the challenges they currently face in the sector.
The mineral sector, in which Geita region is a leader, will see a lot of wealth for the people of Geita and big mineral mining stakeholders such as GGM. They are still making profit, but we've seen their contribution in our economy. It has revolutionized the whole sector, so the people of Geita, the success that you see, it is Honorable President's revolution.
Kuna standards zetu hapo kwa ajili ya kuhakiki mizani yote ya madini.
We have standards to verify mineral weighing scales. As you know, you cannot operate a mineral business without one. So our duty is to certify all scales used so that they give correct measurements.
And the head of the Tanzania Naval Command, Rear Admiral Richard Makanzo, has emphasized on the importance of peace among all Tanzanians so that the Tanzania People's Defense Forces can help citizens in various social activities as well as prohibit enemies at sea and at the country's borders.
Kusingekuwa na amani, na maana tusingekuwa makambini humu. Tungekuwa tunaengage adui. Tungekuwa tuko huko baharini.
If there was no peace, we would not be in the base. We would be fighting the enemy. But because of peace and harmony in our country, we are now training future sailors.
And the government prosecutor in charge of various cases facing the deputy chairman of Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, Chadema, Tundu Lissu, including 2 of incitement, has accepted the defense's request to continue the hearing of cases after the general elections, a request that has also been approved by Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam. And that is all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, has weighed in on the ongoing debate triggered by Chief Justice David Maraga's advisory asking the President to dissolve the Houses of Parliament for failing to enact the 2/3 gender rule. LSK President Nelson Harvey says the President will be in violation of the Constitution should he fail to dissolve Parliament by October 12th of this year.
Your government, your elected and appointed people, have squandered close to 50 billion on account of COVID funds as we speak right now. What is the cost of conducting an election? Is it more than 10 billion? What is the cost of conducting a referendum? How much money, your money, has been allocated towards BBI? You see, there can never be the claim of inconvenience when you are required to comply with the Constitution. For that reason, therefore, IEBC should be prepared to hold a by-election at most within 90 days from the 12th of October.
More than 280 Burundian refugees have returned from the Democratic Republic of Congo, with the Ministry of Internal Affairs calling for refugees in various countries to return as the situation in Burundi is now stable.
I'm grateful to the government, a government that is strong. We're happy to be back home. You are eagerly awaited. Those remaining, we welcome you. There are those who are still afraid because they were told so much. But as you can see, everything is calm.
And President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya has inspected development projects in Mombasa and Kilifi County along the northern parts of the coast, urging Kenyans to work hard and maintain infrastructure in order to bring about rapid development.
A resident of Likoni will cross without waiting for a ferry. He will not have to check time for the ferry. I was here last year when construction was going on, but I was told that the road is complete, and I wanted to come and see that the promise we made has been fulfilled.
That is where we leave off with international news. We'll be back with business news after this short break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now on to business news. The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has told the business community not to fear entering into investment ventures with the government, as cooperation is key in bringing about economic growth.
If you want to go with the time and hold on to your view, time will pass you by, and when you want a second chance, it will not be there. So I sent him to speak with the elderly and tell them time is running out. If they are late, ZSSF will invest somewhere else.
Tanzania Coffee Board has said sustainable production of cashew nut processing machines by the Small Industries Development Organization, SIDO, will help to reduce exports of unprocessed cashew nut by more than 90% annually.
When we sell cashew nuts outside the country, we get US dollars, which would be more if we add value to our cashew nut. Cashew nut we produce has been sold as raw material, but we want to export it as food. We've been given the tender to make machinery for cashew nut processing. The value chain is long, from the beginning to the end, and we shall do so on time, as the contract specifies.
Women traders from pastoralist communities at the Namanga border between Tanzania and Kenya have called on member countries of the East African Community to fulfill their pledges, which include allocating them business premises at the customs building.
Kama mipaka zingefunguliwa, wangeweza kutufungulia mipaka ndio tuone kama watalii watarejea nchini. Hatuna soko. Kuna wakati president alikuwa anaelekea upande wa Tanzania.
That is where we leave off with business news. Sports news is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho He did lose to Lynn.
And now in sports news. Tanzania will host the Africa Kabaddi Championships, scheduled to take place from the 11th to the 14th of December this year.
The African Kabaddi Confederation will give us the chance to host the African Kabaddi Championship here in Dar es Salaam from 11th to 14th December this year. So I think more than 8 teams will come, including Kenya, Cameroon, Egypt, Mauritius, Ghana, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and Uganda. But even now, 6 teams is already confirmed. Nowadays, we are making a crucial training in several regions to make a selection of Tanzania Kabaddi player.
And Mzee Ali Samata has revealed his son, Bwana Samata, is not ready to leave Aston Villa or even play outside England. Here's the story.
In weeks, the 27-year-old has been reportedly linked with Villa's league rivals West Bromwich Albion, and a move to the Turkish Super League could be on the cards, with Fenerbahce said to be interested in his services. Mzee Samata has now claimed his son has openly told him he does not want to leave Villa Park, and reports linking him to West Brom or Turkish teams are not true. Samata's father also admitted that his son will be taking a step down should he leave England for Belgium.
Frank de Boer has been appointed as the new Netherlands head coach. The Royal Dutch Football Association, KNVB, has confirmed. Here is more.
Ronald Koeman left his post as national team boss last month to take over at Barcelona following the dismissal of Quique Setien. Dubois, who made 112 Netherlands appearances and played at 2 World Cups for his country, has signed a 2-year deal that takes him through to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. The 50-year-old enjoyed a promising start to his coaching career, leading Ajax to 4 straight Eredivisie titles between 2011 and 2014.
Barcelona have confirmed that Luis Suarez has joined Atletico Madrid after the 2 Spanish sides came to terms on a deal for the Uruguayan star. Here's more on this.
Atleti will pay Barca £5.5 million to acquire the striker, who departs Camp Nou after 6 seasons with the club. Suarez had been heavily linked with Juventus in recent weeks, as the Italian champions have been in the hunt for a striker. But the Bianconeri moved on to other targets after Suarez was forced to go through a lengthy process of acquiring Italian citizenship. Instead, he will head to Atleti after a stay with Barca that saw him claim 13 trophies while becoming the club's 3rd highest all-time goal scorer, only topped by Cesar and Leo Messi.
And Frank Lampard thinks that Wednesday was the first of many great nights for Kai Havertz in a Chelsea shirt after the club's summer signing provided a standout performance in the Carabao Cup. Here is more on the story.
Barnsley at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday, with Havertz firing a hat-trick in the 6-0 win over Championship side. Havertz was joined on the scoresheet by Tammy Abraham, Ross Barkley and Olivier Giroud, as Chelsea ran rampant in a match that saw summer additions Ben Chilwell and Thiago Silva make their debuts. Following an opener from Abraham, Havertz fired 3 of Chelsea's next 4 goals, with Barkley's 49th minute finish sandwiched in between the first and second.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Diamonds are forever. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Diamonds are forever, 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 forever.
Welcome to CapChat. CapChat is an interactive show where we talk about things that have been trending throughout the week, both positive and negative. And we also talk about some interesting main topics and hashtag 255, things that are uniquely Tanzanians. Hizo kazi zinatokea sehemu nyingine, lakini sisi kikwetu kwetu tunafanya kwa njia ya kitofauti zaidi. I will not be by myself, and my name is Vanessa Victor, and nitakuwa na dada yangu Nancy Masengo. So Nancy, first, before we get things started here, how are you? How was your weekend? How was your week?
I've been well, Vanessa. I've been well, thank you. And leo nilivyokuwa nakuja kazini, umeona the way the roads have been shaped, eh? Yani, you're just gliding.
Yes.
And the other one on the TRA Mwenge side.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
That's really good. Okay, that's a good positive.
It is.
It looks like they're almost finally, at least kwa kipande chetu, done.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
We've been living with that for a very long time, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
So let's kick things off with our first story. It's a sad one. Wanafunzi 10 walifariki kwenye moto ambao litokea shule ya Biamungu Islamic